Welcome to Creating a School Culture for Database Decision-Making, a group presentation created for Course 7014. What is school culture? The culture of an organization is what individuals in the organization value and believe. Why is school culture important? The culture of the school is important because it influences how educators share their practices, including database decision-making, to change student growth academically. What is database decision-making? It is the process of collecting, analyzing, and using the data to guide decisions. Why is database decision-making important? Creating a database decision-making school is necessary for our constantly changing world. Changes in education are frequent as educators are constantly trying to increase levels of organization and motivation. Making a shift to school culture rich in data-driven decision-making requires an organization to embrace change. What does research say about school culture in relation to database decision-making? According to a study by Gaziel, school culture explains the difference between an effective school and an average one. The school must have a school culture that values academic achievement, continuous school improvement, teamwork, and the creation of an orderly environment. According to Anandi and Gilik, it is impossible to create a data-driven decision-making culture without teachers being actively involved in the process. In order to create a data-driven decision-making culture, administrators must first embrace data-driven decision-making and sharing it with their teachers. Once administrators become prominent in using data to make decisions, teachers must be included in the process and allowed to participate in decisions that are made in the organization. Teachers will feel their opinions are valued and needed to improve the school once they are included, thus changing the school culture. According to Marique et al., database decision-making is influenced by the implementation of the school characteristics and culture. The motivation determined by school staff plays an important role in successful implementation of database decision-making. Cooperation is valued by school staff when they are able to work together in order to achieve a common database decision-making goal that helps student achievement with school-wide success. To summarize, school culture impacts school success both positively and negatively. It is impossible to create a database decision-making culture without actively involving teachers. And implementing database decision-making processes successfully will cycle back into a positive school culture. So how do we assess school culture? As Kowalski and Lasley explain, there are a variety of ways one can assess their school's culture to determine if it is conducive to database decision-making, including the following 4 types of assessment. The School Culture Survey contains 3 subscales: teacher professionalism, professional treatment, and teacher collaboration. Response choices use a Likert scale ranging from 1, almost never, to 5, almost always. School Work and Culture Profile is a 60-item questionnaire. It consists of 4 subscales, each with 15 items: school-wide planning, professional development, program development, and school assessment. The Organizational Culture Inventory is a quantitative, statistically normed and validated survey. It measures 12 sets of behavioral norms associated with 3 general styles of organizational culture: constructive, passive defensive, and aggressive defensive. The School Culture Quality Survey is a standardized instrument used to assess teacher perceptions of their work environments. It produces a school culture profile. The instrument has 4 subscales: shared vision, facilitative leadership, teamwork, and learning community. What if your survey results show that changes need to be made? how do we change school culture so as to make it more conducive to database decision? Let's start with school leaders. Creating a school culture for database decision-making begins with school leaders. School leaders must foster a positive school culture that centers on collaborative staff interaction with the intent of increasing student achievement. So how do school leaders foster a positive school culture? The plan is simple. Step 1, communicate professional expectations. Step 2, provide structure. And Step 3, collaborate with teachers. So what barriers stop this from happening? One barrier to implementing a data-driven decision-making culture is the need for stakeholders to know what to do with the data once they are collected. It is difficult to create a school culture rich in inquiry when basic skills or knowledge is lacking. So how do we solve this issue? Again, we must implement a plan. Step 1, offer opportunities for your stakeholders to learn. Step 2, involve stakeholders in the process. And Step 3, offer more responsibility as teachers' skills develop. According to King, it was determined that involving staff in the model evaluations of district initiatives led to staff developing their skills in the process of evaluation, which in turn solidified their commitment to this process, as they were better able to understand how to utilize data-based decision-making. How do we keep staff motivated? A commitment to database decision-making for continuous school improvement aids in the school culture to help them nurture change as it happens, in the mindset of thinking of data as something that is done by the school and for the school, instead of to the school. When motivation is low, commit to the mindset of database decision-making. Remember that data is useful to the process of continuous school improvement. And revisit your school vision to refocus on your goals. Remember, you have to embrace the data-driven process. Creating a data-centered decision-making culture requires all members to embrace using data to drive a decision-making process. What are some best practices to implement in order to develop a school culture centered around database decision-making? According to Bernhardt, there are 4 powerful strategies to implement that ensure database decision-making is considered a priority in school culture: leadership, professional learning, partnership development, and professional collaboration. Leadership structure determines and defines how both staff and administration will implement the vision, including when and how they will collaborate, align resources, review and analyze data, and support instruction, and reflect on their progress toward bringing their vision into reality. Professional learning ensures that staff and administration continue to learn in order to positively change or improve their understanding and implementation of processes and procedures in an effort toward reaching their campus goals. Partnership development determines the why and how of creating and implementing educational partnerships with outside groups, including parents, business community groups, and other educators, in order to increase student learning and college and career readiness. Professional collaboration is the process of working with other professionals within one's campus to plan, act, analyze, reflect, and plan again in order to make progress toward the school vision. So here are your steps to success. Assess your school's culture to see where you're at. Provide learning opportunities for all stakeholders. Collaborate with staff throughout the process. And implement best practices as you go. Don't forget that research shows the school culture affects the success of database decision-making, and taking the time to create that culture will ensure greater motivation to learn, grow, and collaborate in this process. Let's review what we learned today. Thank you for joining us. We hope you enjoyed our presentation and learned something new.